into the weekend. I'm going to take a moment here, just make sure my audio's up, and we'll just pull up our Skycam again. Make sure we're good to go here. And we're looking at conditions that are going to be okay. I think our audio is much better now. So we are looking at conditions that are going to be on the hot side today. Make sure we're not getting any feedback here. Okay, thanks for bearing with me, guys. And okay. Hopefully this is working now. Thanks for bearing with me again. We do have some heat building up for this weekend, or for today and into the start of the weekend at least, but some changes are coming as well here in the forecast. So we want you to be ready for what's to come. So let's get into our headlines here this morning. We are looking at, of course, the heat and the potential for near record heat yet again. We did set some records yesterday. So we're looking at today and Saturday, where we may see getting at least close to a record. If we don't set it, we'll still be on that high end of that temperature range, at least the historic temperature range. And we also have, of course, that big change coming up for this weekend. It starts Saturday night. We'll see the chance for some thunderstorms, and then it switches over to Sunday with the much cooler air taking over, just kind of a gray day, wind as well coming up. And so we do have a first alert weather day for Sunday. And then looking ahead at falling back. So once we see that change happen, our conditions will be much cooler heading into next week. So if you've been missing fall, well, it's coming your way here in just a couple of days. So let's talk about our records. This is from Thursday. We talked about this yesterday. So I just wanted to go back and visit and see where we got to. Fargo, our record high yesterday on October 2nd was 90, and we saw a high temperature of 87. We weren't expecting to break the record, and we did not, but we were very close, a few degrees off. And then Grand Forks, the old record was 85, and that did get broken at 88 for the high yesterday. So that old record, sad to say, fell, that 1897 record in Grand Forks, but Fargo's is still intact. So here's what's happening. We're going to be seeing our temperatures today soaring again, back into the low 90s, potentially for Fargo. A lot of us in the 80s, but some of us getting into the 90s. And then as we look ahead into the day on Sunday, a huge temperature difference here, 20+ degree difference. And we'll have some cool and rainy conditions again. So I want to talk about some of those records that we've been keeping an eye on. And so our evening crew yesterday put this together, just kind of looking ahead to today and to Saturday as well. And looking at our forecast, our record for today is pretty high. We're in the 90s, 93 for Fargo, 95 in Grand Forks. Our forecast for today, close again in Fargo with that high of 91. Grand Forks may not quite get to 90s, into the upper 80s. So Grand Forks records may be safe the next couple of days, especially tomorrow, because we'll start to see those changes starting to come in, and we'll see them really take hold as we head into the day tomorrow. So we're looking at Northern Valley to the northwest over toward Devil's Lake. Our forecast is for 77 with a record high of 85, whereas Fargo is going to be ahead of the front, and so we're more likely to be toasty, and our record is 87, and that's our forecast too. So we may see a tie in our record high temperatures. Let's take a look at our conditions right now. So we've got some clouds that have developed here, and we've had a little bit of rain. I've been monitoring our camera at Newman Outdoor Field, our new cam there, watching a little rain shower go by. You can see a little bit of a shadow here showing up, which would be that rain that's still maybe falling in that area. And taking a look at our temperatures, we're warm. We're in the 60s to 70s already. It's 74 in Fargo and 72 in Monoman. Grand Forks checking in at 66 degrees. So here are those showers I was talking about. I'm going to take this full screen. You can see that most areas are in that, well, dry range. We've got some sunshine, a few areas where we're seeing some areas of a little bit of shower activity or cloud activity going on, but mostly it's pretty quiet here. And looking at conditions that are going to be a little more on the, well, quiet side for a lot of places. But I am going to zoom in on that area where we've been seeing a little bit of rain in Fargo. And you can see that we have had, I should say north of Fargo and east of Fargo, that we still have some areas with some showers going on here this morning rather, as we are looking up to the north and east. So just a little bit of shower activity happening here. And we'll continue to be seeing that as a possibility. Here, I'll bring my camera view back up so we can point at some of these things. So again, seeing a couple of showers north of the metro. In fact, I can zoom in a little bit more on our radar. This is more toward the Pearly area, more toward Hendrum, south of Hallstatt. This is kind of drifting to the east-northeast, so a little shower going on there. And so if you're out for harvest, you might be noticing these clouds and these rain clouds. There was one lightning bolt that I saw earlier on, so there is the potential for some lightning. And then looking at our radar here, just right along I-94, seeing a couple of little cells here. I'm going to put this into motion. And you can see that we've got a little bit of rain. One thing I want to point out, this area here that looks like it's a stronger thunderstorm, but it's not moving. That's likely some of those wind turbines that are in southeastern parts of Clay County that the radar the radar beam's running into. So it thinks it's seeing some rain, but it's likely the wind turbines there. So that is not rain, but there are some other places where we're seeing some of those showers ongoing. So we'll zoom back out. So again, this is something I can't rule out. I can't rule out an isolated shower or a thunder shower today coming up here in the forecast. Let's take a look at our wind. That's going to become an increasing factor today and through the weekend. You can see we've got winds gusting into the 20s in Fargo and in Fergus Falls, wind out of the south or southeast, and those winds will be increasing. So let's take a look. As we work our way into the afternoon, more gusts into the 20s, and it gets stronger heading into tonight. Some gusts for Fargo that may be topping 30 miles per hour. So strong south wind, really helping to fuel some showers and some thunder showers as we head into Saturday. This wind is just going to keep going. There might be some moments where we get a little bit of a break from it, but overall more of a windy stretch here as we head into the weekend. So let's take a look at our hour-by-hour planner for today. You can see again we've got that possibility for an isolated shower or thunder shower as these drift off to the northeast. This is noon, moving on into the 3 o'clock hour. We're still seeing some spotty areas, but the vast majority of us are on the dry side. We just have some clouds passing through. If you're in the northern valley, you're more likely to see this potential continue. You can see some of these showers north, so that could have some impacts on football games you might be heading out to for tonight or any events you're going to for your Friday night. And then otherwise, it's going to be a pretty quiet one. You can see that we're never quite getting rid of that rain chance, though. It's not 100% free and clear across the valley. So for today, toasty out there. We're talking temperatures well into the 80s, and some of us seeing 90 degrees. Fargo, again, our forecast high of 91. And this is a snapshot at 4 p.m. And you can see some partly cloudy skies, too, going on as we make our way through the day and into the afternoon. So here we are on October 3rd talking about 90-degree heat here in the valley, getting close to those records. Some might have you thinking about, doing some summer activities right now. And so I thought we'd check in on our tea time forecast coming up for this weekend. Looking ahead to Saturday, today would be a good day for golfing if you're not seeing one of those showers or thunder showers go by. But Saturday going to be breezy, but it's still going to be very warm. We're looking at that high of 87 degrees in Fargo. Some storms late. We're going to get into that coming up in just a little bit. And as we go into Sunday, this is a day where it might not be so fun out on the links. We're talking about temperatures into the 60s, windy, rainy, again, much cooler, just not the ideal day, but, still a couple of bonus days here where we can get out and enjoy that. And then looking at our Friday night forecast for football, once again for this week, the call on the field is it's good because we do have some warm temperatures. And the one thing that's going to be an issue is breezy weather. Again, those gusts getting into the 30s might be a little bit of trouble for the passing game and for kickoff and that sort of thing. But otherwise, we are looking at some conditions that are going to be really pleasant to be out in the stands coming up for tonight. Speaking of tonight and pleasant conditions, we have had 5 nights now, 5 days, where we have had northern lights happen. We've been in this solar wind stream that's just continually bringing us these beautiful views. And this is one from last night. This was sent to us from Andrew, and he called this the Northern Lights Harvest. And you could see all those combines out there with the northern lights in the background. Just a really cool shot. You can check this out right on our website. Yet again, upload your photos there. We really appreciate hearing from you. And looking at tonight's forecast, we're looking at some conditions that are looking pretty good once again for seeing the aurora. A reminder, this is what we call the aurora oval. It's the ring of where we expect the solar wind to interact with the Earth's outer atmosphere, and you can expect that, of course, into Canada, but the view line here, this thin red line, is going to be farther south. It'll be strong enough that we in North Dakota, into Minnesota, will be able to again see those northern lights coming up for tonight, if the weather cooperates, of course. And we do have some clouds passing through, but in between there are breaks. So if you've been missing out because, we have to work the next day, school the next day, have to get to bed early, well, tonight might be a night where, you can stay up late on a Friday night and enjoy that. So here's a look at, again, more details on our weekend now coming up. First alert weather day, again for Sunday, we're going to see that weather switch going on Sunday with that temperature change, and it all comes with the cold front that's going to move through. So here's a look at what to expect. I'm going to start things off here at 11 o'clock on Friday, well tonight, 11 o'clock tonight. And as we go through time, you can see moving into Saturday morning that we've got some pretty decent weather going on for most of the valley. We're seeing some clearer skies. We're seeing quiet weather, still some breeze, still some wind out there, but not much for rain. Where an area that may not luck out as much is over in the Devil's Lake area. If you're wanting to hold on to one more, get that bonus day of summertime. This is where we may see more clouds. You can see a little rain showing up there. So this is an area that's going to be experiencing that a little bit more. But through most of the day Saturday, it's once again looking quieter. And as far as precip is concerned, and you can see even by 7 o'clock, most areas are okay. So if you want to get out and enjoy your weekend outdoors and don't want to get rained on, Saturday is going to be your better day for that. Heading into Saturday evening, here you can see the rain. And we could see some rain and thunder showers pop up in the afternoon too, so that's something to be aware of when it comes to the potential for severe weather. But watch what happens into the night. This is 11 p.m. You can see more reds and oranges on the map here moving into the James River Valley from the southwest. And this is going to spread through the valley overnight. We'll put this into motion and show you that. So areas in eastern North Dakota up through northwest Minnesota, kind of right along that diagonal, we'll see that potential for the heavier rain, the potential for the stronger storms, and in general where we'll be experiencing the worst of it, we'll say. This is Sunday morning, and you can see that just because you might not be in that area of heavier rain doesn't mean we'll miss out. We do have chances for rain in places beyond that area as well. This is 7 a.m. Let's move ahead through the day. Some passing rain and thunder showers as we work our way into midday on Sunday. Though they'll be less likely the farther southeast you go, there'll still be a possibility into Lakes Country. And then moving on into a Sunday evening, that tapers off and it moves on. So the potential is there for some decent rainfall and for, again, severe weather. We've got a marginal risk. It's a level 1 out of 5, so it's on the lower end, but still an isolated severe storm may develop. And right now, anytime we have severe, we can't rule out all types of severe weather. But right now it looks like the greatest concerns will be hail and damaging wind gusts associated with these storms. And the places included in this marginal risk lining up pretty well with our forecast model where we're expecting to see the more intense parts of the system move through. So that would include the James River Valley, parts of the upper Cheyenne especially, heading into the northern Red River Valley, toward Grand Forks, northeastern North Dakota, and northwest corner of Minnesota as well. But as you see here in the lighter green, everywhere has a chance for rain and thunder showers. So don't just assume you're okay just because you're not in the marginal risk here. And you'll want to check back with us tomorrow for an update on this as well. But watching out for severe weather for this first weekend in October, and it may happen in the late night hours coming up for Saturday night. Let's take a look at rainfall. So we've got, as we go through time here through the weekend, all the way into Sunday night, we've got some areas that may not see much of anything, and then some areas that may get a little too much over a short period of time here. So I don't want to say we're not going to see rain in Lakes Country. This particular model is kind of excluding us in many places in Lakes Country. I wouldn't count on that, but I want you to be ready for the fact that you may not see much rain in those areas coming up for this weekend. So we've been talking about it a lot, but some places just may not get as much as other spots. Now, into the northern valley and to the west, that's where we could get a little too much. So we're looking at a widespread area of 1 inch of rain or more depending again on where that line of heaviest storm sets up. And then there will be some areas that could get several inches of rain, that 2 to 3 inch range mark. And this particular model puts us in that 4-inch range there in Roseau County. Again, this is a model simulation. It's a computer simulation, so it's not a guarantee, but it gives us an idea of what we may be experiencing and how much moisture is going to be involved in this system as well. So we want to be prepared for that. And again, the bulk of this falling Saturday night and into the day on Sunday. So that's a look at our rain. And, you know, if you want to get out and take in some fall color, we're nearing peak in the region. And so here in the Minnesota DNR map, the real-time updates that we get from them are so wonderful. And this is the October 3rd update for today. You can see a lot of places in red here, meaning we are at 75 to 100% of peak color. So almost at peak or at peak in some of these locations. So that includes northwest Minnesota, that includes some places over by Leech Lake and north central parts, and actually up along the North Shore, there are some spots that are past peak right now. So the colors are changing quick. And then in the Southern Valley, you can see that, you know, we're more in that patchy range still. So overall, I've got us in that near peak range, but some of us, again, are near or at peak right now for this weekend, and it may be past peak when we get into next weekend. So now's your chance in some of these spots here as we head into a very summer-like start to a fall weekend, but it won't feel like that forever. So again, today, a high of 91 degrees. We've got that potential for an isolated shower or thunder shower coming up for today. Breezy weather kicks in, and it stays breezy through the weekend. And then heading into Saturday, again, Fargo is going to be toasty, getting into the upper 80s. Lakes Country going to be toasty, but if you're north and west, it may not be as warm on Saturday. And we'll be watching out for thunderstorms and that potential for late night severe. Could happen as early as the afternoon, so we'll want to get weather aware during the afternoon hours, especially in those places we just highlighted. And then Sunday, rain continues to be a factor. It's going to be windier, will be cooler too. Some places may be around 70 on Sunday, so not a huge drop for some locations, but others may be a lot cooler. Places like Devil's Lake, again, heading into Sunday, maybe more into the 50s. So it'll be a range of temperatures, but in general, we're looking at much cooler weather, and we want you to be prepared for it. And that's why we raised a first alert weather day for Sunday. Now, looking ahead into the rest of the forecast, that cooler weather sticks around into next week. You can see there may be a day or two where even Fargo only gets into the 50s. And you can see also that that night, this is Tuesday, high 55, we move into Wednesday morning with a low temperature of 34 degrees. So there's the potential for frost again on Wednesday morning or even freezing conditions in some areas. So want to be ready for that too with our late season gardens. And then moving on into next weekend, chance for rain toward the end of the week and into the start of the weekend, and cooler temperatures back into the 60s. So again, looking cool, looking like we're going to be experiencing some big changes coming up. So I want you to be ready for that. If you love the summer weather, we still have today, the rest of today, and for many of us also tomorrow before those changes occur. Just getting on Facebook, checking to see if we have any questions, any updates from any folks. Not seeing anything here. Let me just check one more spot. Again, this goes, you know, live across our digital channels and on YouTube, but also across Facebook. So if you're watching on another platform, you can always come to Facebook and comment if you have any questions at any time when we're doing our live updates for the weather going on now and for the forecast as well. So I want to wish you happy Friday, happy October 3rd, Mean Girls Day. I'm wearing pink to celebrate, and we are going to be enjoying a pretty decent October 3rd here today with conditions that are going to just get a little bit more on the windy side. And keep an eye on the sky. There is that chance for an isolated shower or thunder shower. Otherwise, have a great Friday. Again, a great weekend ahead, and pay attention to what's going on with the weather with that chance for severe weather coming up for Saturday night and into early Sunday morning. And in addition to that, you can always check your VNL weather app for the latest radar, the latest alerts, and forecast updates. We do videos for the app as well, so you can always check on those video forecasts too, where we get into more detail on what we expect to see here this weekend. So again, happy Friday and happy first weekend in October.